This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions of people come together to explore and develop creative interests. Class topics include productivity, crafts, music, creative writing, photography, just to name a few. Skillshare is for lifelong learners of all skill levels. Most Skillshare classes are under 60 minutes with short lessons to fit any schedule. I'm currently taking a class called Filmmaking from Home by Penny Lane, and this class is helping me to refine my videos by improved editing. The Skillshare platform is continuously launching new premium classes without distracting ads. With an annual subscription, you can take as many classes on as many topics as you want for less than $10 a month. First 1,000 subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free premium membership trial. Hello and welcome to Peggy's Plants, coming to you from Central Florida. Hi, I'm Peggy. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you and yours are well. I'd like to talk to you about the beautiful Manjula Pothos. The Epiprimnum Manjula is a member of the Pothos family. Pothos are some of the most common houseplants and have been popular for decades. Even if you're not a plant person, chances are you recognize a pothos. I have childhood memories of my mother having very long trailing pothos in the house. Some of the most common pothos are the golden pothos, as you see here, as well as the marble queen pothos. There's also a jade pothos, which is a solid dark green, which I do not have. But in recent years, there's been a lot of hybridization of pothos. So you have all kinds of pothos, like this neon green pothos known as the neon pothos. But there's all kinds of pothos varieties with lots of variegation, varying degrees of variegation. And that is how we came about the Manjula Pothos, which was hybridized by the University of Florida. Now, these variegated varieties, hybridized varieties, are a lot harder to come by, although they are reasonably priced and can still be found in big box stores. All of these that I'm showing you here, I found at big box stores for reasonable prices. If you're on the hunt for a Manjula Pothos, don't be discouraged. Although the Manjula Pothos is not quite as common as the jade pothos or your golden pothos, it can still be found in big box stores. I found this one that I've had for about a year and a half, and yeah, there's a different variety of pothos in this pot as well. But I purchased this one from Lowe's in a 4-inch pot for less than $5. This Manjula Pothos I purchased about 2 weeks ago from Walmart. If you saw my Walmart shopping trip, they had a couple of them in store, and I was surprised to see it, but I got this nice full hanging pot of Manjula Pothos right there at a big box store. So they might not be as common, but you can find them. And I found this plant and paid less than $15 for it. And here's how she's looking today, all repotted. Now, the characteristics of the Manjula Pothos are a little different than those of some of your other pothos. I do have a video to help you identify some of these varieties because it can be confusing, and I'll put a link above for that. So let's talk about the characteristics of the Manjula Pothos. Now, one thing you'll notice about the Manjula Pothos is the leaves are rather large. Even on the juvenile plant, it's larger than the juvenile leaves on other pothos. And the leaves tend to be wavy or curling. Also, the edges of the leaves tend to be green, even when there's a large white area. The colors comes in white, greens, cream colors, just a beautiful plant overall. So let's talk about the lighting for the Manjula Pothos. As you see, the grower recommends low lighting for this plant. Now, there's a big difference between low light and dark. All plants need light to thrive. They can go for a while in darkness, but they're not going to grow at their best. Now, this bathroom is a little dark, but this little window with no direct lighting would be perfect for Manuja Pothos. If you want to put it in front of a window, I would recommend a window with shears. I like to use shears and blinds so I can adjust the amount of lighting. Now, if you're going to put it in front of a window that gets direct light, you need to be very careful not to burn the plant, and direct lighting can negatively affect the amount of variegation in a Manuja Pothos. So let's talk about humidity. Pothos are tropical plants, and as such, they like varying degrees of humidity. I'm just setting up my plant room, and I am not presently running a humidifier. As you can see, this one is not only off, it's unplugged. I have wood flooring. I'm not sure if I'm going to run the humidifier. If I don't have to, I won't. But living in Central Florida, there is a nice amount of humidity in the air naturally. As you can see here, it's in the 50s, 50 percentile for humidity. The more humidity you can give these plants, they're not gonna hate it, just put it that way. But they're very forgiving plants. You don't necessarily have to boost up the humidity, but just know it does help improve the growing. In terms of soil and water, now these plants like to remain somewhat moist. Now there's a difference between wet. You do not want your plants sitting in your roots in wet soil, but you don't want a big chunky soil for these plants because it will dry out too quickly unless you want to water every day or every other day. I highly recommend just a regular potting soil mix that will retain some moisture for the plants. I like to water my plants 1 week to 1.5 weeks. It all depends on how quickly your plant is drying out. So it would depend on your environment. So I can't tell you how often you would need to water because of course everybody's environment is different. But I do use a moisture meter to determine how wet or dry my soil is. And when that soil starts getting in the red zone, I know it's time to water. Like most pothos, the Manuja Pothos is very easy to propagate. The only thing you have to do is just ensure that you have a node on your cutting. For my new plant people, the node is the little protrusion that you see sticking out at the bottom of the stem. That's where your roots will grow. So you can simply take a cutting, make sure you leave yourself some room away from the node just in case you experience a little bit of rot. Take a cutting from that, pop it in water, and you should have a rooted pothos within a number of weeks. And that's about it for the Manuja Pothos. Happy plant hunting to you. Hope you're able to find one at a great price. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Stay well. Bye-bye.